Prepaid services are recommended by funeral home directors as they lock in your cost and you know you won't be a burden to loved ones with any future fees. But this woman says her deal has become a nightmare in an already impossible time.
Every picture of y'all are grinning. That was us.
More than 3 decades of smiles for Colleen and Benny Asbury of Grandview, Missouri.
He's the light of my life. We've been married 28 years. We've been together 35. And we did everything together.
But in May, Benny died.
We all was there when he took his last breath, and that was just... It's still hard for me to talk about, to see him go like that.
Less than 2 weeks later, Benny was buried at 12 Gates Memorial Gardens in Raytown. Colleen Asbury wanted the couple buried there side by side, sharing a headstone.
That's when I was informed that the headstone would not be laid until after I die. That doesn't make sense to me. And when I took out the policy, neither one of us knew who was going to go first.
How could you? Colleen says this is how Benny's plot looks now. No marker, just the flowers she's left on her weekly visits. Each person had a pre-funded funeral agreement done through insurance. Colleen Asbury showed us each was paid in full. In Colleen's contract, you can see $980.80 charged for a gray grass marker. It's not on Benny's, and that's the problem.
So you've got a man and a woman, okay? And if they wrote 2 separate contracts, which they have to do in the state of Missouri, if they put the headstone under one of them, then, you've got to have the right person pass away first for that headstone to be completed.
Todd DeMint of Myers Funeral Chapel, which is not involved in the Asbury case, says prepaid burials are beneficial, but items like the headstone should be paid for separately, perhaps put in a third contract with each of the 2 names on it. He says people need to know specifically what they're asking for and vocalize it when arranging prepaid services.
When you're purchasing something and you have goods and services, it needs to be in black and white what those goods and services are. And you need to know what your expectations are once it's time to fulfill that contract.
That doesn't help Colleen Asbury now, though, going on 3 months and no headstone to memorialize her husband.
I just want the best for him.
I spoke with the cemetery today, and they said Asbury could cash surrender her policy and use some of that to pay for a new headstone. The remainder of the cash would go back into the pre-need policy. But Asbury says cashing out will cost her money, and she's not spending another dime. 12 Gates declined to be interviewed.